Hey, welcome and thank you for joining this week with Goodness Chick live at 5. This week we're going to be hitting on the topic and issue of suicide. This is something that can kind of come across as somber, intense, very raw, but I believe when we kind of do the whole elephant in the room, we don't want to talk about it, but it's affecting people of all ages within our society. We need to talk about it. And if we're always comfortable with things, we're doing something wrong. Suicide is when somebody makes the decision to take their life, to end their life. Um, you know, there's been comments made that I've heard over the years, both personally and professionally, where, well, that's selfish, how could they do such a thing? We're extracting that conversation altogether, because to me this is about empathy, this is about hearing, and this is about getting into the reality, the stark reality that no matter what your feeling is, it's when somebody takes their life. So what are some red flags when it comes to somebody that is at risk for suicide? Because this is kind of where we're going with how to be aware, be in tune with both our eyes, our ears, and our hearts. Because sometimes we can kind of get caught up in the craziness of life and be unaware of when somebody's hurting, because that's really what it is. One of the big factors, I'd say, when we're looking at somebody who isolates themselves from someone, detaches from situations that they used to be kind of involved with, interests, hobbies, different social settings, talking about ending their life, whether it's posting certain disturbing things on social media, making comments. And I say it's not, there's never a way to overreact, but being aware and in tune. And if there's just something that you're concerned about with somebody that you love, I think what we need to do is discussing. Are you hurting? Are you sad? Are you having these thoughts? It's kind of easy to say, well, somebody I know or somebody I care about would never, ever do something like this. It's kind of like the A on the chest, which is crazy, because if we took a step back and we really dialogued about how many people have had these thoughts, maybe have not connected the dots to it, but have had these thoughts, I've thought about it. One article that's been recently released talked between the season, the 13 Reasons Why, that was put out between those few months that sitcom was out, talking about following a young lady who ended her life. The Google searches for how do I kill myself and ways to do it were exploded. So we need a dialogue with young people. We need a dialogue with our spouses. We need a dialogue, because if somebody's hurting, we need to find ways to find support and encouragement for them, because this isn't something that goes away. And if somebody, another red flag is, have they been bullied? Are they hurting? Are they struggling with depression and not being heard? Are they self-medicating themselves? Is there, we don't really talk about this, but are they on medication that's just kind of counteracting in whatever way that's putting these thoughts in their head? So dialogue, when I tell you, is just a super big thing. And if this is, you're watching a TV show, you're, there's a movie that gets into the topic of suicide, talk about it. Because if we keep our eyes closed and think, well, somebody I love would never be at risk for that, we're foolish. Because there are people from every type of social, economical background that really are at risk. And this isn't to scare you, but it kind of is, because we need to talk about it. And we're empowered the more that we know. And so I encourage you to jump on goodnesschick.com tomorrow. Check out our new blog post that's going to delve into this a little bit more in terms of resources, support, because support, and encouragement are super important. We're not supposed to go at things alone. Wishing you a great week. Peace, love, and goodness.